is shown that you are raising the hand. Okay.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good morning. Good evening, Rasmita.
Again.
Any problem? Would you like to say something now?
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay. Okay. Formality. Okay. लाइट लगे दे मझी लाइट ठीक है लाइट लगे दे
Sir, ଗୋଟେ question ଥିଲା.
हाँ please.
Sir, ये जो knowledge pentagon कौन?
Pentagon means a geometrical figure which has 5 sides. ज्ञान रे पांचटा दिग कथा को होची जो साम पिट्रोडा प्रथम टे हला कोन एक्सेस हम कोउटो ज्ञान पाइबा तापर हला कोन कांसेप्ट कोन ज्ञान सो न्यू कांसेप्ट न्यू आइडिया द 5 मॉडल आगु जानथ रश्मिता आगु जानथ 5 मॉडल
सर ये प्रिपरेशन बळे माने खाली हल्का मने अछि
हां एबे ही 5 7 और 10 होसला आसला आगु नथला तेनु नुवा कांसेप्ट ताकु जानिबा सो तापर क्रिएशन हबो नुवा जिंस क्रिएशन हबो तापर ताकु अप्लाई करिबा अप्लाई कला परे देखि ता कोन ई सॉरी हमरो सर्विसेस ताकु बर्तन किमिति कोन देले पिल्ला माने ज्ञान पाइबे एटा पांचटा दिग ज्ञान रो
अगेन सर फास्ट रे सर कोन कोला आउथरे कहि
गोटे हला तमन बहिर अछि आगे हला कोन ना एक्सेस टू नॉलेज माने ज्ञान पाइबा एक्सेस ने पाखु जिबा एक्सेस ज्ञान हम पाखे आसी पहुंचबो तेन एक्सेस टू नॉलेज तापर नॉलेज कांसेप्ट कोन जिंस हम जाने कांसेप्ट धर मैंगो इज ए कांसेप्ट 5 मॉडल इज ए कांसेप्ट कंस्ट्रक्टिविज्म इज ए कांसेप्ट आगुर कंस्ट्रक्टिविज्म नथिला हमथिला बिहेवियरिज्म हम हर्बर्टियन स्टेप रे इंट्रोडक्शन प्रेजेंटेशन एप्लीकेशन ए तीनटा स्टेप फॉलो करी टीचिंग दोउतले एबे किंतु कंस्ट्रक्टिव अप्रोच काहे कि ना नॉलेज इज नॉट एक्वायर्ड माने बिहेवियरिस्ट अप्रोच करे हला कोन ना नॉलेज इज एक्वायर्ड किंतु कंस्ट्रक्टिविस्ट अप्रोच हला कोन नॉलेज इज कंस्ट्रक्टेड फॉर एग्जांपल हैव आई हैव गॉन टू बहिरे पढ़ा अछि आई हैव गॉन टू मार्केट so let the student know that a have can be used in different ways now you can say in this book have has been used as verb now have can have many meaning for example I have had my coffee I have had my lunch means habitual now the have has been used in the form of habitual similarly I have a pen I have a building possession now have has been used in terms of possession so have can be used as verb have can be used as possession have can be used as habitual. So now have can be interpreted in three ways, not one way. Let the learner know. This have is a concept. ପିଲାମାନେ କଣ ଭାବିବେ କଣ ଖାଲି verb ହବ ନାଇଁ. Similarly, man. Man is what part of speech? A man. What part of speech? This is noun. Man is a social animal. Now the man is used as noun. But when we can say the commander man the soldier, now the man is used verb, man, leading, directing. So therefore, if the word is interpreted in different way, the meaning is given in that way. Contextuality. In which context that is used. For example, mundo and khoto. Dita word. ଆମେ ତାକୁ କହିବା ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଖଟେଇବା ଖଟ ମୁଣ୍ଡେଇବା. ଅସ୍ମିତା
sir ଆଜ୍ଞା
ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଖଟେଇବା ଖଟ ମୁଣ୍ଡେଇବା. Is it same?
no sir.
Now the two words, mundo is one word, khoto is another word. Now if it is used in a different way, meaning is different. Mundo khoteiba means you are using your brain, you are using your intelligence. Mundo khoteiba. Khoto mundeiba means burden, just like khoto. So like that. Therefore,
Do something what?
Meaning making is more important. For example, you are teaching the students digit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For example, 1. 1 means one means why like this. You can say no. Now you can interpret. 1 is not only a number. 1 is not only a digit. The student should be taken away from that context. We can say Eka Brahma Dvitiya Nasti. One Brahma. There is no two Brahma. Now one is interpreted in that way. Eka Rati, Bahu Rati no. Eka Dino, Gotiye Dino. The first Manisha Pai Bholo Kamo Kare. Like that. We are interpreting in different way. That is meaning making. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
So I welcome you to this evening session. If you just recall, we have been talking about the role of education in the nation building. So education and development or progress of a nation, they are intermingled, interlinked. There is a correspondence between these two concepts, education and development of the nation. Therefore, education is a key factor in any nation's building. Therefore, when we think of education of our country, we must think of the philosophy, sociology, history, psychology of the country. That means philosophical, psychological, sociological, all these economical considerations should be taken into consideration. So these are the perspectives on the basis of which we can have our education. So education has philosophical perspective, psychological perspective, sociological perspective, economic perspective, political perspective. Now, one of the perspectives through which we can visualize a new kind of a new system of education is your philosophy. Therefore, philosophy provides the way, whereas education leads forward on the way to achieve the education objective. That means education is borrowing the concept from philosophy. For example, idealism, naturalism, pragmatism, realism, humanism, existentialism, essentialism, perennialism. These are the ideas of philosophy originally. Now we borrow these ideas, concepts from philosophy and apply in the field of education. That means those philosophical points of view, they will guide how to educate the children. So therefore, for example, the Tagore's concept of philosophy, Gandhi's concept of philosophy, Freyer's concept of philosophy, John Dewey's concept of philosophy. So these point of view, they guide us so that we can formulate our aims of education, curriculum, method of teaching, role of teacher, kind of discipline we want. So that is based upon the different considerations. Today we'll discuss how philosophy helps us in determining the different aspects of education.
Sir, page number
Therefore,
कितने?
pardon?
Page number, sir.
No, I'm not started. Block 3, page number 5.
Again?
Page number 5, block 3, unit 9. Just I am introducing, I have not done. So therefore, philosophical perspective is more important. Why? Now, philosophy guides us. Us means education. Philosophy gives direction to education. For example, how to maintain discipline in the class. You are a teacher. You are teaching any subject. And some of the students are found indisciplined. Now, to make them disciplined, you are using Gandhian concept of discipline. You are using naturalistic concept of discipline, or you are using idealistic concept of discipline, like that. Similarly, method of teaching. You are teaching English, you are teaching history, you may be teaching mathematics, but every subject can be taught by following the appropriate method, technique, strategy. And this philosophy, like naturalism, idealism, for example, nature is the best teacher. In a naturalistic way, we can teach. So therefore, we should take this according to naturalism, we should take the children or student to the lab of nature, prakriti koloku pilaku nei jiba, seiti ganita padaiba, seiti vigyana padai pariba, seiti ingraji padai pariba, so padai pariba. This is what your Rousseau says. So this is a philosophical understanding. This is how the philosophical point of view, they give direction to us. So this block 3 talks about philosophical perspective of education. So this is the title, block 3, philosophical perspective of education. Now this philosophical perspectives of education has 4 units, unit 9, unit 10, unit 11, unit 12. In unit 9, it is designed to discuss about the concept and nature of education. The title is Concept and Nature of Education. If we have to provide education, then what is that education? Concept meaning. What does it mean? So what is the nature of education? How different philosophers, they have talked about the concept of education. That has been talked about in unit 9. Then unit 10. So the title of unit 10 is Philosophical Basis of Education. Now from what is philosophy, how philosophy and education are related, when we are talking about the different practical situations of education, how can philosophy help us? That all these have been talked about in unit 10. In unit 11, democratic principles of education has been talked about. That means unit 11 is dealing with democratic principles of education. When we are going to educate the children at different stages of education, maybe primary stage or secondary stage or college stage, but education should be based upon principles of democracy. In detail we'll discuss, but for the time being I can tell you, for example, one of the principles of democracy is freedom, for example. Now when the teacher is teaching, you are all teachers, you are teaching your students any subject. Now we should also provide freedom. Let the learner be given independence. Where? In thinking, in doing some activity. For example, the students are organizing a group work. As a teacher, you should not interfere. Don't impose. Let the students enjoy their freedom. Sir, we are free, we can do, don't interfere. No, if the teacher, no, I am experienced, I will tell like this. No, don't look at that. So freedom is given. That means you are a true democrat. The teacher is a true democrat. So therefore, democratic principles should be followed in education. Last unit is your unit 12. That talks about agencies of education. If we have to provide education, then how to provide education? So what is agency? There are different institutions which have been maintained by the society to transmit the cultural heritage from one generation to another. Maybe school, maybe family, maybe church, maybe playground, maybe mass media. So these are some of the agents, institutions through which the society wants to transmit its rich cultural heritage from one generation to another. For example, whatever my grandfather knows, I should know. What I know, I should let my children know. When my children know, they will let their children know. This is the corollary. This is the flow. This is how education is handed down. So therefore, culture is flowing from one generation to another. And for that purpose, there are different institutions, maybe school, maybe family, etc. So these are the, in nutshell, these are the different 4 units which have been under the block 3, that is philosophical perspectives of education. With this, let us come to the detailed discussion. Unit 9, page 5. What is Unit 9? Concept and nature of education. What is education? Before that, it is not in your material. I will tell, I have added. You know, man is the, human life or man, human life is the best creation of God. God has created us. And human life has 2 aspects, 2 dimensions. One is biological aspect, another is sociological aspect or cultural aspect. One is biological, another is cultural or sociological. The biological aspect of human life is maintained, developed through food and reproduction. We are living how? We are getting food, something like that. So food and reproduction. So therefore, biological life is maintained. But what is about the cultural life, cultural aspect or a sociological aspect? Sociological aspect or cultural aspect of the human life is maintained by transmitting the heritage, culture from one generation to another. That means we have to transmit the cultural heritage from one generation to another, and that is possible through education. So education socializes the individual or child. Education makes the child a finished product. What is finished product? That means a kind of product which is complete in all aspects: physical develop, mentally develop, emotional develop, spiritual develop, and that is what your society wants. Not that you are intellectually you are intellectually developed, your intelligence is more, but physically you are very weak, you are unable to work, you are unable to concentrate upon activities. That means your development is lopsided, one-sided, only intellectual. There are some others who are physically strong, but intellectually they could not do well. As a student, they are securing 20%, 50%, 40%, like that. So what education wants, because education will make you finished product. So physically you must be sound, mentally you must be alert, emotionally you must be stable, spiritually you must be enlightened. That kind of individual we want. So that is the function of education. So therefore, with this background, let us understand what Umakanta, is there any problem? No. So therefore, let us understand what do we mean by education, or what is that education? So in page number 6, it is given etymologically from the historical point of view. Education has been derived from 2 Latin words. One is educare or educare and educatum. So what does that mean? What does it mean? Educare means taking care, nourish. Just like nurse, the nurse takes care of the patient. Similarly, the teacher takes care of the children, mother takes care of children. So educare means to train or to mold, to change. It means to bring up, to bring up or to lead out or to draw out from the inward to outward. That means the child is born with some quality. That is we call it inborn quality. That is theory of inheritance, inherited from the parents through gene factor. So therefore, inborn quality, we call it endowments. Now, whatever endowments the child has from the very birth, now we have to discover and we have to brought it from the inside, we have to brought it out to the floor through different opportunities. For example, you are a teacher, you could find somehow the child has some musical ability. That child, the student can sing well. How could you know that when the child was alone, he was singing, murmuring, something like that? Now you ask, what are doing? After some discussion, that student might say, Madam, sir, I was singing. Oh, you are singing? You have that ability. Therefore, what you do, we organize music competition, something like that. If anybody has musical ability, then they will participate. Now you could discover that these are the students, they have musical ability, talent. Somebody may be cricketing, somebody may have football, like that. Somebody might be speaking well, oratory, debate, they may participate in the debate. Now you, so therefore, your task is education is an entity. So you are providing education. So as a teacher, you will discover the innate quality, inner quality of the child, which is within the child, and it will be brought to surface. So therefore, the inward will come to outward. So therefore, that is what education is. Another term is educatum. That Latin term, educatum. It means or it denotes act of teaching. For example, whatever we know, for example, maybe A square, B square, maybe alphabets, maybe grammar, maybe principles of geometry, maybe preparation for oxygen. How could the child know? Because the teacher had taught. It is possible through teaching. What is teaching? Teaching is a teaching causes learning. Sakuntala Murumu and Ranjita Vera, you have raised your hand. Is there any problem? You have raised the hand? No.
No, sir.
You are raising. So therefore, my attention is drawn. So therefore, we have to take care of the children. So therefore, through teaching, what is teaching? Teaching is a question of interaction. Teacher is a mature personality. The learners are immature. So now as a mature personality, the teacher will influence the students and the students will have experience from the teacher. Therefore, there is, so teaching is a question of interaction. Therefore, education is a process, maybe bipolar process, maybe a tripolar process, maybe multipolar process. For example, how it is a bipolar? One pole of education is teacher, another is taught, student. So when there is a perfect interaction between teacher and student, then education will be there. Then 3 dimension, try, teacher, taught, educator, educand, and your social milieu. That means the teacher is teaching. You are all teacher. Are you teaching the students in the railway station? Are you teaching the students in the jungle? So there is a for teaching the social environment, social conditions, climate, where the teacher will feel comfortable, where the students are feeling comfortable. So that is what we call learning environment. Learning environment. So therefore, teacher is one pole, student is another pole, social milieu, environment, that is another pole. So 3 are essential. Another way of looking at education is multipolar, neither 2 or 3, many. Not only the student learn from the teacher, the student can learn from magazine, the student can learn from TV, the student can get education from magazine, newspaper, the student can get education from the cricket playground, the student can learn from family. So there are And education is not a monopolized business of teacher. So there are many agencies, there are many sources. Nowadays, for example, nowadays the students are very much ahead of the teacher, internet. So now they can get whatever we do not know, whatever we do not know, the students know, because knowledge is accessible through the internet. Anyhow, so therefore, education is a question of bringing the inside to the outside. So therefore, it is sometimes said education is the internalization of external and externalization of internal. That means internalization of external. The child is looking outside. External means outside. So now I see the outside, how the dogs are playing, how the trees are blowing, how it is raining outside. Now I am internalizing, I'm assimilating, I'm getting it into my brain. Now another is externalization of internal. Now I am, whatever has been incoming information, that has been explained, that has been told, like that. So this is what. Now Swami Vivekananda, in the context of education, he said already, I have made a mention, education is the manifestation of divine perfection already existing in man. So all men are divine, perfect divine personality. Why? We are all from God. So God is divine. If we are divine, then why there is robbery? Why there is dakai? Why there is murder? Why there is rape? It is because of our ignorance of the divinity. We are not aware of the divinity. We are a part and parcel of divinity, but we fail to understand. Therefore, now we are doing like anything else. Similarly, Rousseau says, education is the child's development from within. From within. That means he says, not outside. Rather, the child is born with certain qualities. What are qualities within means? There are two types of behavior. One is overt behavior, another is covert behavior. Covert means covered, enveloped. So something is within the mind, within the child. So that is to be drawn. So how can you draw? By providing certain appropriate opportunity. Similarly, Mahatma Gandhi says, education is the all-round drawing out of the best in child and man, body, mind, spirit. Body, mind, spirit. That means body, that is hand. For example, sometimes we call it 3H. Equivalent is 3H. Hand, head, heart. Hand, body means hand, means physical development, mind, mental development, head, thinking, then spirit, heart. So therefore, our education is only developing the intellectual potentiality of the child. But Gandhi said, no. Body, mind, spirit, hand, head, heart. These three dimensions should be developed. So education can do. This is the task of education. Then education is something which makes a man self-reliant and selfless. This is our Rig Veda said. According to Rig Veda, what is education? It is something. What does it do? It makes self-reliant. You rely on, you don't believe in anyone speaking. You are self-reliant and selfless. You are not doing something to get something. So that has been well told in Gita. Without expecting any fruit, go on doing work. Don't expect any fruit, but go on doing. Go on doing your work. So whatever work, for example, let us take the case of Gopavan Das, Utkalamani Gopavan Das. Was he serving the flood affected people? In flood when the people are affected by flood, was he serving those people to get something? No, it is doing selfless job. So that gives a sense of satisfaction to us. So that is how we feel happy. So Rigveda. Then Chanakya, education means training for country and love for the nation. We are born not for us, we are born for the country. So we must be committed to the welfare of the country. So whatever, for example, in Greater Sparta, the moment the child was born, the child was taken to the peak of that mountain from the peak of the mountain, the small child, maybe 1 month, something like that, the child was thrown from the top of the mountain. If the child was alive, then that child was fit for education. That child was to be given education. Why? What is the philosophy? The philosophy of Greater Sparta is that that child is eligible to get education who is strong enough to safeguard the motherland. That means protecting the motherland from external attack. Therefore, a 1 month child, when he or she is thrown from the top of the mountain, if she or he is alive, that means she is physically strong. He is physically strong, and that child should be given education. So that is to safeguard the country. That has been well told by Chanakya. So motherland is more important. We must serve our motherland. Similar, Tagore says, the highest education is that which does not merely give us information, but makes our life in harmony with all existence. That means we must harmonize in different context of life. In different context of life. Now, you are all teachers. 20 years back, you were a student. Now you are all young. After 20 years, you will be old. At the old age stage, something different. Young, you are a teacher, something. When you are not a teacher, retired, something else. So every moment, you are confronted with a different situation. So therefore, you have to mend your mind according to the demand of the society. So we are born for not for our existence, but for the existence of others. Therefore, let us live and let others live. So we should not be selfish. So let others live means we are allowing others to live in addition to our living. So this is how education has been conceptualized by different philosophers or educationists. Now let us understand the narrow meaning of education and broader meaning of education. Narrowly, it is equated with schooling, instruction. It has been well told. It is referred to the formal system of education which is acquired from the school. That means those who have not gone to school, they are not educated. That is very narrow meaning. So according to narrow meaning, the instruction being provided in the school is called education. That is narrow meaning. But from the broader meaning, education is not given in the school. You can get education from home, you can get education from playground, you can get education from library, here and there. So therefore, education from the broader point of view is a lifelong process which one can get from different sources. It is not the monopoly of school. So therefore, all from the broader sense, education refers to all those experiences that affect the individual throughout their life. Any experience which affects you at any stage of life becomes your education. So therefore, Swami Shivananda was quite right when he said, every moment is a moment of learning. Can you tell me any moment where learning is not taking place? Learning is a part of education. So therefore, we are getting experience. What is experience? This is my feeling. This is my understanding. Experience means being with a situation. Now, being with a situation, you are a teacher. You are with a situation means teaching. You could know that there are some learners, they are poor. Because they are poor, they have not taken their meal. There are some, they have no books. There are some students who are very egoistic. They do not mix with others. There are some rich students. They are very lavishly living. No experience. Now this is the diverse situation. How to handle? So this is your experience. So from the narrow way, we can say education is equated with instruction. From the broader point of view, education is a lifelong process. Any experience which affects the individual life at any point of time, that becomes broader meaning of education. While talking about the nature and scope of education, it has been talked about the education may be informal way, education may be formal way, education can be non-formal way. For example, you have your summer vacation. There is no class, there is no school going. Now you want to know, you are a girl, you want to know how to cook because after 2 to 4 years after that, you are going to marry. So you must know cooking. Now you are requesting your mother, mommy, there is no class. I have my enough time, leisure. Please let me know how to cook. Now the mother say, all right. When I am free, I will teach you. So when the mother is free, she talks about how to cook, how to do like that. Does your mother charge any fees to enable you to know cooking? No. Is there any planned way? No. So therefore, it is incidental. So therefore, formal education is incidental. As and when you require, maybe in the night time, maybe in the morning time, there is no hard and fast rule. There is no rules and regulations. It is like unplanned, incidental. So therefore, there are some characteristics of your informal education. You can see, for example, informal education is also called incidental education. Why it is incidental? It happens at any incident. No formality is maintained like that. So you can understand. Similarly, formal education, school, informal is home. Education from family is an example of informal education. Formal education, your school, college, university, certain formalities are maintained. What are the formalities? When the student says, sir, I want to know mathematics, I want to know English, I want to have knowledge. Now you are telling, please come, take admission and come to school. Your class is, for example, you have admitted in class 3. So our school start from 10 to 4. So you have to come every day 10 to 4. Also, you have to pay fees. So also there is procedure of admission. So there are some formalities. Why? If you maintain this formality, then you can get education like that. So therefore, formal education has the characteristic like education is imparted by formal institutes like school, colleges, university. Though the main centers of formal education, school and college, but library, museum, zoo, picture, galleries, all that, both teacher and students are interacting, something like that. That is administration policy, administrative policy. Then another is your non-formal education, your IGNOR, open school education. These are the example of non-formal education. So neither formal nor informal. It is in between. So what are the characteristics? Non-formal education is endowed with flexible curricula, time schedule, choice of subjects, and place of education. For example, you are getting your education in your home through this counseling, through your online mode. There is flexible curriculum. For example, in open education system, you can appear examination. This year, there are 2 times permanent examination, one in December and in June. So you can appear two papers in December, 2 papers in June, next 2 papers in next December, next 2 papers in next June. So flexible.
Hello.
So there is no rigidity. Here we have 80% attendance. It is not compulsory like that. But in workshop, it is. But in workshop, it is compulsory.
सर पिलाटी जदि निजे निजे सिखिला ताले सेटा को सिखरे जिवो को जो 3 फॉर्म्स रे
पिला जे that is a kind of informal education.
इनफॉर्मल रे जिवो
informal. जेतले से प्रेस जानुची बा तमरो कोनसी के पाला होची गीत गाय होची नॉन फॉर्मल. जेतले स्कूल जाउची सेठी होची फॉर्मल. स्कूल कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी. Okay. Therefore, multimedia communication, open schooling, open university, these are all non-formal education. Like formal education, degree awards and certification are also done in non-formal education. We have certificate. For example, in our formal system, you have to complete within the stipulated period. But that rigidity is not in non-formal education. For example, you take the case of a BEd in IGNOU. You are given how many years? 4 years. 2 years course you can complete within 4 years. But that is not in formal education. You have to complete by 2 years. Anyhow, so therefore, this is what the scope of education or nature of education is either you can learn in an unplanned way, that is informal, or in a planned way with having curriculum, having fixed timetable, formal way, or you can get education by attending to open university or open education system as and when you have you are interested to upgrade your knowledge. That is non-formal education. Therefore, education is important. It is there. I will not talk about because time is not there. All right. Page 12. How education is important. Education is necessary for the growth and development as well as maturation of child. Definitely, whatever you are, how to talk. The moment the child was born, the child was unable to speak. So therefore, it is based on tabula rasa theory. Tabula rasa means the mind was clean slate. The mind was clean slate. Now that as the child is growing, for example, can you teach a student of class? Can you teach a student of class 4 about Shakespeare? No, because a student of class 4 is not or she is not intellectually quite grown up to understand the drama of Shakespeare. Therefore, is there any Dharana? Is there any problem?
Hello.
No. So
Sir, good
therefore,
evening.
whatever we want to give, that should match with the intellectual, cognitive development of child. Let us take the example. In history, Ashoka as a topic or Akbar as a topic is taught in class 5 or 6, 7. That is also taught in class 10 or 11. That is also taught at the plus 2 level or PG level, honors level. But what is the difference? Difference is difficulty level. The content is gradually developing. That is what we call spiral curriculum. Gradually, the difficulty level is increasing. For example, 1 or 2 pages in class 4 about Akbar. But at the PG level, Akbar is there, but something else. Somebody is doing PhD on Akbar. So therefore, difficulty level is increasing. That is what that is possible through education. So therefore, education sublimates the basic animalistic instincts. We have many instincts. That is animalic, just like animal quality. So therefore, this was my invention. What is education? It has come to my mind. What is education? Education is a process of transformation, conversion, converting from dog to God. DOG, dog. Now we'll take the DOG, dog. God, God. That means dog stands for animality. God stands for humanity. So education is a process of transforming the animal quality, instinct, animality into humanity. If we are human being, we are not born as a human being. We are born as an individual. Individual is very selfish, but human is sacrificing, like that. Anyhow. So now this is how education is important. There are some distinctions among the different terminology. For example, schooling, learning, training, teaching, instruction. For example, education, already I have told you, education is the process of development from the birth to death, womb to tomb, that lifelong process. What is schooling? What is happening in the school? Within the 4 walls, schooling is an act of consciously imparting values, knowledge. That means we are conscious means we know deliberately the teacher is doing like this. Why? Something this kind of value will happen. So therefore, it is consciously planned. Schooling is limited educational exercise in terms of range of experience. That means your experience is you are getting from the school. But can you tell me all the experiences are learned from the school? No. Cooking, cycling, it is not from the, you can have as a student experience of mathematics, science, geography, history, all debate competition, all right. But cycling, walking, or cooking, all like these are the psychomotor domain. So therefore, School relates to the development of all sides, total development. Therefore, while the process of education continues throughout the life. So this is the broader meaning. But in the school, narrow meaning. So within the school, what is happening, that is education. But that is not really education. Education goes on throughout the life. Then learning. Learning is a process which results in more or less permanent modification. One thing is that education is, try to understand, education is a question of modification of behavior. Learning is also. But learning is a modification of behavior, may be positive, may be negative, but education is always positive modification, like that. Then training, act of, now you are doing behavior training. That means you try to develop some certain competencies so that you can use it and the learners can learn well. So training is a systematic series of activities, large number of activities involving instruction and practice. For example, before you start adopting 5E model, what are those 5E? What are the basic principles? Theory. Then you are making lesson, preparing a plan. Then you are going to class. That is practical. So theory compendium, practical compendium put together makes your class very interesting. Therefore, training is a question of developing skill. So that is very much helpful in the process of education. So training is a part of education. When the teacher is teaching to make the students learn, the teacher is to be a trained one. But that is not all about education. Training facilitates the process of education. Education is being facilitated by training. Similarly, teaching and instruction. Teaching and instruction are the means employed to affect result changes. If the teacher wants to bring changes among the learners, in the behavior of the learners, then it is possible through teaching and instruction. Therefore, teaching and instruction aims at effecting learning in individuals with a view to educating them. Thus, teaching and instruction becomes instrument of educating. So how can you educate? What is the weapon? What is the means? Your teaching and instruction. Then functions of education. So now you can see the table, table 9.1, functions of education, that is clearly told. You can understand there is no need of elaborating, or only one point I can elaborate for you. Pardon? Deepanan, any problem? 15, page 15. So functions of education can be seen from three perspectives. One is general function, another is functions of education in human life, functions of education in national life. So general way, human life way, national life way, we can see. One point I can tell you, for example, first, education helps the individual for development of their innate powers. Whatever the child is born with, that is to be developed. That is general function. What is the function related to human life? It makes the individual skillful to adapt, to adapt in different and new changing situations of environment. You know, now we were children at some stage of life, something different. For a small, when we were a small child, we are crying for a small piece of chocolate. Now we are all adults. We are not crying. This is your, because you have socialized yourself. So therefore you know how to talk, how to behave in which context. That is for your life, to maintain your life. Function for national life, it helps patriotism, scientific discovery. It helps the individual to train for a leadership that may further help the individual to take the leadership role in any area. Maybe social leader, maybe political leader, maybe economic leader, maybe scientific leader. So therefore, we can see the functions of education from three angles: from the general point of view, from the human life point of view, from the national life point of view. Now, with this background, let us come to the aims of education. And the same thing, more or less, individual, social, national. For example, individual, first, education should develop the individual physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, etc., like that, so that that individual can serve the country, society. Then he can become a social member, not only social member, responsible social member. What the society demands, how can those demands be fulfilled? You are educated, so you can do that. So therefore, at last, when you are thinking about the development of nation as a scientist, as an educationist, as a social reformer, therefore we can think of that your education is aiming at national development. For example, to foster nationalism, patriotism, and promote national unity, all that. Also, there is the ultimate aim, immediate aim. Immediate aim means we are educated to get a job. So bread, butter, to earn money. That is immediate aim. But that is not all about the life. So self-realization, God realization, that is the ultimate goal of life. That is ultimate aim of education. That is something beyond materialistic world, spiritual world. All right, we have a body to be maintained. We want food, we want shelter. For that purpose, money is required. Then after that, also animals are having like that. So there is a difference between animal and human, because we are all spiritual. We understand what we are. So self-realization that I am not only a human being, I am not only a part of God. I have to do something best so that my life will be worth living. So therefore, it is what you can. Also, sometimes our constitution is committed. Our constitution has some declaration. So therefore, we derive aims of education from the constitutional provisions. I will give one or two examples. For example, Article 45 and 46. If you, Article 45 is in the Constitution, what does it say? So it directs the state to provide free and compulsory education for all children until they complete the age of 14. Now, what is the aim of education? Now, how can education do like to make education a right to education? Similarly, Article 46. So what is the aim? To provide equal opportunity, whether you are scheduled caste, whether you are scheduled tribe, whether you are girls, whether you are Muslims, whether you belong to marginalized group, all will be treated equally via Article 46 of the Constitution. So therefore, education derives aims from also Constitution. Now we are talking about these are the aims of education, these are functions of education, this is the scope of education. Now the question is, when we are thinking of education of a country, there are certain factors. Those factors are to be taken care of. For example, like reality of knowledge and its nature, that is philosophical. What is truth? Which values are true? That is contextual. So therefore, it has been told, for example, in case of reality as knowledge and its nature, aims of education have an association with the existing philosophy of life. So therefore, philosophy of life that determines the kind of education to be given. That means contemporary life. Gone are the days when education was mostly spiritual. Nowadays, technological, because of the technological development, advancement, scientific development, we cannot contend it. We should not be satisfied with those limited sphere. Now we have to march forward. So science education, agriculture education, value education also, all should be taken care of. Similarly, human nature, from the psychological point of view, we must understand what is about the human. So therefore, what kind of intelligence, what are the potentiality, all these are there. Then effect political ideology, this is more important. When the government is disturbed, or when one government goes, another government comes. Congress goes, BJP comes, BJP goes, communist comes. So that influence the system of education. That is the political government system. Socio-economic problem, socially and economically, there are many problems. How to solve those problems, that should be the factor of education. Then knowledge exploration. Smriti Ranjan, any problem? Only knowledge
No,
exploration. Pardon? So knowledge, not only there is knowledge, there is only population explosion. Every second there is also knowledge explosion. New knowledge comes. Whatever you know yesterday, that is no more today. For example, we have been taught how to transact in the classroom situation. That was by following Herbartian steps. 3 steps: introduction, presentation, application. Nowadays, we are talking about 5D model, icon model. So therefore, we must look to the, we cannot lose our sight to the new concepts. So therefore, our education system should be based upon the new knowledge system, new concepts they are coming. So this is all about Unit 9. Let us come to Unit 10. Philosophical basis of education.
Hello, sir.
Please.
Sir, जो changing aim of education in the context of globalization, how टिके सेटा
that is coming under your socio-economic problem and knowledge explosion. Knowledge explosion. For example, now we are in the global war, global village. Means whole globe is one. Now you cannot think of in India the value system that India believes. That is what we call indigenous. Indigenous. That means what are the values, what values the Indian system of beliefs. That is okay. But also, no country is independent in any way. India is depending on America. America is depending on Japan. Japan is depending on India. So therefore, in the globalization stage, knowledge should be globalized. That means whatever is happening in America, for example, constructivist approach, constructivism, that has been since 1960 in America. Now it has come to India in 90, after 30 years, after 3 decades. So that should not be. What is happening around you, that should come to you, so that your students will not be backward. Your student, for example, in my time, learning means trial and error theory, insightful learning theory, Skinner theory. But nowadays, learning is something more, humanity theory, cognitive theory. How could you know? Because of knowledge explosion. How could you know that this knowledge has come? Because of your net, because of your interaction with interaction among the world, among the different countries. Therefore, that knowledge flows from different corners of the globe. That is globalization. The total whole globe is one. If that is happening there, it will happen here. It will happen here. If it is happening in Japan, German, something like that, also we cannot close eyes. We must also accept. Because we live in a modern world. So that is how we cannot remain aloof from the outside world. So the new concept, the new ideas, the new system of education that is happening there, also it should come here. Otherwise, we will be lagging behind. So therefore, if we have to compete in the world market, at the international level, in the global market, we have to up-to-date ourselves. For example, in my time, I do not know whether it was in your time or not. In my time, mathematics was compulsory. But Vedic mathematics was not there. Nowadays, Vedic mathematics has been included. Now, because the system is like that, because you are a member in the global market, you are not only a member in the Indian society, whole globe. When the globe is changing, you must change your attitude, your education system, your way of life, your thought process, like that. For example, you take the case of your food habit. Your momo, is it Indian food?
No, sir.
Then it is China. So it is because of globalization. It is because of globalization. For example, for the effect of globalization is now there is interchangeability of faculties. We are making. You must have heard in the news. You must have seen from the newspaper. There is some university, in Barampur University, Utkal University, FM University, MOU, memorandum of understanding, that this university is making an understanding with foreign universities regarding seminar organization, regarding research work, so that What is happening there, that will come to India. What is happening in India, that will go to America. So this is the effect of globalization. Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Now let us come to the philosophical foundation of education. So what is philosophy? Philosophy is derived from two words, that is the Greek word philos and sophia. Philos means love, sophia means wisdom. So therefore philosophy means love of wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is not knowledge. Wisdom does not mean knowledge, realization. You take the case of your Gautam Buddha. Gautama becomes Buddha when he got the wisdom, light, spiritual light. He was meditating, concentrating upon God, nearby it has been told, nearby the river, under the tree, for hours together. He left all the palace building, wife, children, etc., etc. He was detached, not attached. So therefore, a new form of light, a new form of understanding, that is wisdom. You can get knowledge from the books. That is not wisdom. That is knowledge. Wisdom is you have realized that knowledge, that spiritual knowledge. So therefore, it is not there. I have brought from some books. For example, what is philosophy? According to Henderson, philosophy is the search for comprehensive view of nature, an attempt at a universal explanation of the nature of things. So therefore, comprehensive view of nature, total view, not a concept. For example, so therefore, what is nature? Comprehensive view of nature, total view, not a concept. For example, so therefore, total view of the nature. For example, nature may be spiritual nature, nature may be biological nature, nature may be your physical nature. For example, jungle, forest is a question of nature. Seashore, nature. You are telling a lie, nature. You are meditating, spiritual nature. So therefore, that is to be told in entirety, and attempt at a universal explanation. Now you are universally explained. Not it is your own opinion. If whatever you say, it has been accepted by most of the people, most of the philosophers, then that has a universal appeal. Similarly, our then President of India, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, he was a professor of philosophy. He said, philosophy is a logical inquiry into the nature of reality. So, logical inquiry, whenever you are inquiring into the nature of reality, what is true? Is life true? Is wife true? Is teaching true? Is physical world true? Is what is life? Is it true? So now when you are inquiring and you say, this life is true, now you have to give logic. What makes you to tell that this life is true? For example, let us take the, because time is not there, let us take the example of Charvak. So what is his reality? He says, Runam krutva ghrutam pibet. Runam krutva ghrutam pibet. If you go on enjoying a comfortable life, ghee, you go on ghee khao, you go on eating ghee. If you have no money, make loan. Runa karo, ghee khao. Bhalo enjoy your life. This is something different. This is his reality of life. Another professor was there, professor of Mumbai, Bombay University. Rajneesh, Professor Rajneesh. He was a professor of philosophy. His philosophy was, so this is how. Do till you can do. Do till you can do. Micha ko dete parta micha ko koi chalo. And at a point, a time will come, you will not speak a lie. That has happened with your Dasri Ratnakar. Ratnakar, how many times? Chori kala, mansa malla, hanla, mora. Rama, then he become Balmik. Balmik means Uyunga, become a god, become a saint. So that similarly, you want Rasagola. You want Rasagola. How many? 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. After a point, you will no. Yes. No. Yes. So therefore, do till you can do. So everything has a limit, a point of we call it economically a point of saturation. After that, you are not interested. For example, you want to continue education. This program, that program, that program, that program, that program, that program. Oh, I will not do. Many programs I have done. There is a limit to every stupidity. There is a limit to every point. So saturation. This is what your life. So according to Huxley, a philosophy is a lifestyle. Lifestyle. For example, I used to tell like this. My students, they have their full shirt. Some of the students, they have made it half. Some of the students, they have made it full. Then I say, you have a full shirt. Why are you making half? You have spent a lot of money. If you are interested for half shirt, you could have half. Why we have spent some more extra cotton? So therefore, it is their style of life. So we can understand. This is what is philosophy. What philosophy is. Now you know education. Education is the natural development of the child, or education is the modification of behavior of the child. So education is for the total development. Now, what is the relationship between philosophy and education? Philosophy determines the real destination towards which education has to go. For example, philosophy decides this value is important. Which value? For example, spiritual value. If philosophy says spiritual value is real values or important value, now our education system will borrow, and in the school, in the colleges, some practices will be undertaken. For example, different monks, saints, seers, they will be invited, they will go on talking on spirituality. For example, your different Swamiji, like Swami Mukundananda, Swami Krupalu, Swami, like that, they are invited. They talk about spirituality. Somebody may ask you, Mr. Teacher, Miss Teacher, why are you inviting them? No, our philosophy is spirituality. Spirituality is the essence of humanity. So therefore, besides learning mathematics, science, history, the background is background is your spirituality. So therefore, we have planned to improve to develop the spirituality of the students. So whatever they go, they will understand that they will not do anything bad because they are spiritual. Philosophy determines the goal of life and also provide the suitable effective guidance and supervision for the education. So therefore also philosophy gives direction to your life, your pattern of life. And that has been well reflected in the educational process. That means when I am educated from the by attending classes in the school, college, then I have been taught how to love the people, how to tell the people, elderly people. So that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, how I will live, remain with others. True education is practicable only when true philosophy. True education is practicable only by true philosophy. If you want true education, then we must make a reference to true philosophy. Means philosophy has different branches of life. Branches. Maybe metaphysics, maybe epistemology, maybe axiology. Metaphysics deals with reality. Epistemology deals with knowledge. And your axiology deals with value. So these are the three broad aspects of philosophy which might help the educational process. Philosophy determines various aspects of education, like aims of education, method of teaching, curriculum, discipline, role of teacher, like that. Philosophy and education are like two sides of the same coin. Yes. Without education, without philosophy has no meaning. Philosophy without education has no direction, like that. Great philosopher, great educationist. For example, Radhakrishnan in India, Rousseau, Greek, Rousseau, John Dewey, and then your Plato, Aristotle, they are philosophers, and also they are educationists, like that. Then education is the dynamic side of philosophy. Dynamic is changing. As the philosophy is changing, also the system of education will be changed, because philosophy determines the kind of education. So when the philosophy of the contemporary world is changing, so the philosophy education will be changing. Now we will talk about the different philosophers. For example, Rousseau. Just 1 minute I'll talk about his philosophy of his early life. When he was a small child, he lost his mother first, then father. His father was a watchmaker, very poor. Then when he lost his parents, So he was loitering, wandering. He was Bhagavan. Wherever he was loitering from here to there, and wherever it was night, he was taking shelter in the veranda of that home. Sometimes he was ill-treated, like dogs, cats. Sometimes he was behaved properly. So that way, he has acquired experience. And on the basis of his experiences, he has written a book. That is the Bible of education. What is the title? Emil. So in the Emil, he has talked about his experiences and he has given how education should be given. He says education should not be one kind of education. It should be based upon the stages of education: infancy, boy, like that, infancy, childhood, adolescence, youth. So on the basis of age and the development of the child growth, education should be given. So therefore, he said, for example, education should through experience and observation. The child can get education through observation and experience. He has given one example, incident. He said, when a small child, the child of 1 or 2 years, he or she is putting his or her finger into the fire. As a parent, as a mother, as a father, don't obstruct, don't disallow the child to put his finger or her finger. Let her put the finger so that let the child experience the beauty of fire. What is the beauty of fire? Pain. So when the child has put the finger into fire and got pain, next time the child will not put, because he knows that this is not good for me. This is painful. But as a parent, what you do? You are not allowing. Rousseau says you allow the child, but with certain precaution. Not that the child will be put into the fire for half an hour, so that he will spoil his life. With care. If you do not do, what will happen? You are obstructing. You are not allowing the child to put the finger into the fire. You know what is the nature of the child? Every child is curious. Now, when the child finds that mother is not there, father is not there, now it is the right time to put my finger into the fire. Now he will experiment. So it is dangerous. So therefore, that is direct experience. Therefore, with all precaution, the parents should provide the situation to get direct experience like that. So nature is the best source of getting direct experience or any kind of experience. Now regarding curriculum, he has suggested stage-wise: infancy, childhood, adolescence, youth. So these are the different curriculum. And for that curriculum, for example, during the time of infancy, curriculum is development of body and senses. What the method? Training of sense organs. We have 5 sense organs. Sexual, for example, touch. So which is to be touched so that knowledge will come. For example, in the jungle, there are different types of flowers. Now the teacher can ask, could you experience some fragrance? If the student say yes, now how could you know? Now by smelling. Now smelling, listening, hearing, observing, or seeing, touching, testing. So these are the 5 organs, sense organs through which the child can. Which child? The child of up to 5 years. Second year, third, 2 year, 3 year. When the child says is 2 years, 3 years, like that. For example, adolescents. Those who are in class 9, reading in class 9, class 10, something like that, class 8. So how can you teach? The method is heuristic method or demonstration method. Even you can give sense organ, but best method is like this. Let them do. So this is how curriculum method has been suggested by Rousseau. But regarding discipline, he says complete freedom. The child should be given freedom. So he can be disciplined through the consequences. When, Dharana, is there any problem?
So can you explain the negative education?
Regarding negative education, he says no. What is no? No formal education. As we are giving in the school, that is formal. He says no book learning. Though the students would not learn from books, then from where he can learn? Then the reply, what the answer is? Let the child be taken to the lap of nature. Lap of nature. Nature is the repository of knowledge. In the nature, knowledge is there is full of knowledge. Nature is the storehouse of knowledge. For example, you can teach any subject. You can teach. You can correlate. For example, science. Now you can say why the trees are like this, why the color is like this, why the science related, what kind of medicine will be produced from this. Mathematics. These are the, for example, if this is the height of this tree and this is the height of tree, how much height is greater? Like that. Similarly, you can teach poetry. You can help the student to compose poems. If in the tree there are birds, you can tell. So this is the bird. This is the name of the bird is like this. So there are many ways through which you can enable the learners learn. So no book learning, no formal learning, no corporal punishment, and no restriction, no imposition. Pardon?
Sir, Rousseau is a constructivist philosophy?
No, not a constructivist. He was a naturalist. He was a naturalist. He has given autonomy to the child because the child has to learn. Piaget is a constructive. Piaget is a constructivist philosopher. Cognitive. Vygotsky is a constructivist, social constructivist. Nab is a constructivist. Like anyhow. So therefore, he said he was an apostle of nature. Apostle. He was believing in nature. He said there is nothing behind nature, beyond nature, and other than nature. So nature is all powerful. So let the teachers should take the children to the nature. Like that. Therefore, this is no. When you are teaching, you are beating the student. You are giving punishment. He said no. No restriction. The child should decide how to learn, what to learn, where to learn, when to learn. Who are you? The child will learn. You are not learning. Like that. Then education philosophy of Tagore. So you know, Tagore was basically a naturalist. Anyhow, he believes in nature. Therefore, Shantiniketan was his best creation. And Tagore, according to Tagore, nature is the best curriculum and teacher for the child. That means it's something. Nature is the most important factor. Therefore, according to Tagore, education thought is self-realization. You must realize yourself. For example, I am telling you also, in the midnight at 1 p.m., something like that, you ask yourself, who am I? Am I a teacher? Am I a wife? Am I a husband? Am I a mother? Who am I? So now, from the core of the heart, you go on asking, you go on thinking. That is what we call contemplation, philosophy, contemplation. After some days, you can realize, these are the mirage, Maya. We are running after that. So a different kind of sensitivity will be coming. So anyhow, that realization self also, he was synthesizing the ancient Vedantic education value. Then for developing creative faculties, as I was telling you, your present national curriculum framework 2005, it is based upon the two concepts of Tagore. One is your generosity of joy. Another is your creative spirit. When you are thinking of the education of the child, learning of education of the child, you should think of that when the children are given education, are they feeling joy? Is it joyful for them? Is it giving happiness to them? So generosity of joy, it will be spontaneous. The joy will be from the spontaneous. You cannot give as a teacher. You cannot give joy. It will be coming from inside. This is one. Second is creative. But every child is by nature creative. So creativity is a matter of degree. So every child is creative means you are more creative, I am less creative, matter of degree. More creative, less creative. But every child is creative in different way. For example, you are a girl student. For example, you may not create a new formula. What is creativity? Creating something new, developing something new. Now you can develop something new in Alpana. You are a girl. So you cannot create a new thing in Alpana. You can compose a new poem. Somebody can compose a new style of cricketing, a new style of singing. So there are different fields. There are different fields. You can, according to your ability, you can create something new. So therefore, that is more important. Then he supported harmony with environment. Yes, we have a physical environment, social environment. Let the child harmonize himself or adjust to, interact with, harmonize the environment, and he can understand, he can make it, he can learn adjustment. For developing creative faculty, adjustment is the summum bonum of education. For example, I will give my personal example, how I could know from education to adjust. We are, myself is, I am 6 brothers. I have 6 brothers. I am the 3rd one. When I have to go to my village nearby Agarpada Bhadrak. So, because my immediate younger brother, he was not married. So I was moving here and there in my home, village. But the moment my immediate younger brother got married, now, according to our Hindu culture, according to our tradition, so she will not look at me, I should not look at, I am Dadusuro, so 1.5 Susuro. So therefore, it was a problem for me. Does it mean that my younger brother's wife is there, I will not make entry into my village, my home, sorry. Then, because I am educated, so I have to make adjustment. Then, therefore, I practice this. What did I do? So when I have to make entry into my home, so I am producing sound. Do you think that when I was producing this sound, does it mean that I am suffering from cancer, throat cancer? No. I was deliberating producing this sound so that my younger brother's wife will know that my elder brother-in-law is coming. So let me go there, here or here. So that is what education is, adjustment. And that adjustment is a creative process. Where to do what? That you know. So anyhow, because there are many more chapters. The aim of education is to make the child self-sufficient and to earn for the livelihood. So that was more important. You should give that education, as a result of which he will not depend upon others. He will not feel, I am a parasite, nirmilata. It has nothing of its own. It depends upon other trees. So it's not like that. So therefore, every child after getting education should feel that I am confident because I am getting my earning, I am earning money. Therefore, I am self-reliant. I am not depending on others. Education should make the child to practice ideas and values. Then curriculum, method, teaching, horticulture, agriculture, field study, laboratory work, like that you can understand. Concept of school and teacher discipline. Tagore suggests that school should be situated in a peaceful place where child can concentrate and in tune with nature. So the nature is more important. Therefore, Shantiniketan, abode of peace. Shantiniketan was the best internationally accepted school. Now it is university. That is, I have gone. Only trees. It is full of trees. So therefore, that is peaceful. Kwachiv. Shanta, snigdha. There is no humdrum of society like that. Kodahala night like that. Similarly, Vivekananda. So already we have seen education is the manifestation of divine perfection. Already existing man. He was a spiritualist. He was a student of honors philosophy. He was a student of philosophy. His honors was philosophy. Anyhow, so therefore, I will not go to the aims of education. Let us come to curriculum, method of teaching. Swamiji suggested a comprehensive concept curriculum education. The aim of education should be development of spiritual and physical life, So therefore, Swamiji, the curriculum is prescribed religion, philosophy, epic, Upanishad will be included. Besides, language, geography, science, political science, economics, psychology, art, agriculture, industrial and technology subjects, all will be included in the curriculum. The students should have knowledge about all these. Then concept of discipline. Swamiji was in favor of self-discipline. So you know what is discipline. Unless it comes from within, nothing can be make you discipline. As there is a proverb, you can take the horse to the pond, but you cannot make the horse drink. Therefore, you are the teacher. If the student want to be unruly, so if the students want to be wicked, however you beat, whatever corporal punishment you give, it will not do anything else. Rather, you can suggest something, you can advise something. Somehow, maximum 90% from within. Therefore, within discipline. Then let us come to Plato. So, Plato believed that human is the combination of spiritual and physical. Every human being. One is physical dimension, another is spiritual dimension. Therefore, he talks about that the ultimate of human life is self-realization. The self-realization, best and able citizens are necessary for the best nation. So, if we want to make our nation best, so we have to create best people who can contribute. Now, Plato accepted education as a lifelong process. That is why he suggested comprehensive planning and structure of curriculum. So he advocated curriculum means what are the subjects to be included? Language, history, logic, mathematics, geography, science, necessary for intellectual development, and he suggested inclusion of arts, gymnastics, music, craft, and sports in the curriculum, like that. Then John Dewey, educational philosophy of John Dewey. He was a pragmatist. You know, the best book of John Dewey is Democracy and Education. That is the best book, Democracy and Education. Dewey believed that education is the resultant of action. How can we get knowledge? When we do something, activity. So when the child is engaged in some activity, then the child can develop knowledge. So therefore, he said, what is education? Education is the reconstruction of experience. Reconstruction of experience. When you are doing something, you are getting experience. If that experience is not, you can change it. So you go on changing the experience till the right form of experience is attained. So therefore, reconstruction of experience. For example, a girl after marriage, she does not know cooking. Now the mother-in-law says, you cook. Now first day, she cooked and the curry was not tasty. It was very salty. The water is very much there. Now, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, after some days, maybe 1 month, maybe 15 days, maybe 20 days, with proper training from the mother-in-law, now she is perfect. It is because of she could know how to cook well. After many reconstruction, changing experience, and that is how she could cook well. Now, education thought. John Dewey considers experience as the central concept. So experience is the main focus in education. Problem solving. How can you get experience? Through problem solving. Dewey concept knowledge gained through inquiry also. Inquiry, reflective thinking, experimentation, like that. Change is necessary for individual and social development. Democratic society should be established where individual can get freedom and to do something. So democracy is the best form of government. He believes in relativism and nothing absolute. That means nothing is fixed, nothing is static. Everything remains in a state of flux. Flux means change. For example, you take your case 10 years back. You were a small one, your height is this small, now your height is increased. For example, in my case, I am retired in the year 2016, 7 years. So now my hair got white. I am old. Something like that. I am unable to walk properly. So changes are there. Every stage of life we find change. So that is the law of nature that we have to accept. So everything is relative in relation to youth. You are young. You can jump. You can dance. You can work for hours together, like that. John Dewey can be regarded as a pragmatist. Pragma means utility, practicability. What is practical, you must do. So therefore, John Dewey suggested the curriculum that is your curriculum should include social issues as the child is a part of society. Because after your education, you will be going to the society. So that you should develop those competencies. And therefore, experiential and close to life. Then we will go to Krishnamurti, page 38. Krishnamurti, what is He says, what is education? His thought, the main aim of education should be the development, something, spirituality among human beings. Spirituality is the essence of humanity. Without humanity minus spirituality is no more humanity. So therefore, spirituality does not mean becoming slave of the religion, but it encompasses gaining knowledge of reality. So spirituality doesn't mean that you are a blind believer of your religion. Rather, you must know the right form of reality through self-realization. Second is use of scientific discovery and technical education. He also emphasized, you are spiritualist. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't have scientific knowledge. Use of scientific discovery and technical education should not be for destroying human civilization. As what is happening with Russia and Ukraine, what is happening with your other countries. Now we have atom bombs. It was not to destroy unnecessarily. So therefore, science and technology that will help you to discover. Chandan,
Sir,
any problem?
sir, I want to know, sir, every religion give education. It is wrong,
Every
wrong
religion?
or give educated me or to the social.
As per your constitution, Article 46, Constitution has given the right that it is the
No, no,
autonomy
no,
to
no. Just
giving
I
that.
want to know all
No.
religion can give any teach to the social. All religion. Now, particular some religion give education something
No.
thought, good thought.
Whatever religion you believe in, our understanding of religion is wrong. We must our acceptability of religion is not correct. So what is religion? Religion
That's
is not my religion is not greater than your religion. Religion says we are all human beings. We should practice what is universal acceptable, but we are not doing that. Therefore, the confusion is there. Once the understanding of religion is there, for example, if a Muslim education say that in the maktab and in the madrasas we will prepare bombs. If a Hindu scientist, it will say we will experiment bombs in the school. Then does your religion say like this? So that is question
no,
is,
sir.
how do you believe your religion? The essence of religion is to save the life, not to kill the life, to progress, to make the progress of the country. So that is that should be our understanding. Then education will be proper. But our education is based on the religion, which is quite conservative in nature. For example, you must have seen Taliban. You must have heard Taliban in Afghanistan. They have totally devoured the education of girls. Is it okay? Why? Why not the girls will be educated? Who are you? No women, no female can participate in any activity. Chandan, have you heard it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Those Islamic say like this.
But, every child pedagogy teacher and education teacher tell only two religion, Hindu and Buddha, and others not giving their example. That like Islamic, Sikh, Christian.
In the true sense of the term, Chandan, in the true sense of the term, neither Hindu nor Islamic, this is not religion. Religion is humanity. You have said no religion says goes against humanity. Then if any religion goes against humanity, that is not religion in the true sense of the term. Whether you are a Muslim, whether you are Christian, whether you are a Hindu, whether you are Buddhist, doesn't matter. All religion is based upon one fundamental concept that we should not be irreligious. Religious means we should make people to remain in compact, to remain in peace. Anyhow, so we will not go to, because time is very short. Therefore, concept of teacher, Krishnamurti talks about maximum opportunity of education should be provided through activity and learning by you. So Krishnamurti, let the child be engaged in doing something, some activity, and he will get experience. So therefore, teacher and learner and discipline. He emphasized that the teacher should be complete human. Always we are talking about human being, human being. Are you doing in the same way? So therefore, complete human being implies the qualities like consciousness. Just listen. Qualities like consciousness, non-violence, love. This is what religion is best. Non-violence, love, consciousness, no casteism, no regionalism. So that is how our concept is wrong. Anyhow, education philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. Here you are the father of your basic education. Gandhiji accepted the aim of education is the development of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. As he talked about education, by education I mean all round drawing out of the best in child and man, body, mind, spirit. So these are three dimensions of education. That is what we call total development: physical development, your spiritual development, and your mental development. The main aim of education is also earning livelihood. So also, not that you are educated and you are unable to maintain your life. You are depending on your parents. No. Once you are educated, you must be in a position to be self-reliant. You can earn your livelihood. Anyhow, he said, similarly, curriculum, he talks about basic craft. Whatever subject you can teach, it should be craft related. So maybe mathematics, maybe science, maybe geography. So it should be craft related. Also, in the activity center curriculum, he suggested activity center curriculum. Gandhi suggested to include mother tongue, basic craft, arithmetic, sociology, general science, art, music, and other subjects like that. So then, concept of teacher. Gandhiji considered teacher as one of the important elements. A teacher should be ideal. He said, Gandhi said, I think that child learns more from the teacher than books. But he was not in favor of Rousseau. So he said, I think that the child learns more from the teachers than books. He accepted Rousseau. Rousseau said, no negative education, no textbook, no textbook. The child learns from the nature. But here Gandhi says, this is a departure. Gandhi says, the learner can learn more from the teacher. Teacher should not discriminate between students and like that. There will be no discrimination. Aurobindo, so he was a spiritualist. He says, according to Aurobindo, the aim of education should be physical, mental development of child with purity, development of senses, development of morality, development of conscience, and spiritual development. That is his integral education. Then he had suggested a curriculum and method of teaching, stage-wise. Primary stage, mother subjects, mother tongue, English, French, social studies and fine arts. Secondary, mother tongue, English, like that. University, Indian and Western philosophy. He has given more importance to philosophy, either and Indian and Western. Psychology, sociology, history, English literature, French literature, internal relationship, physics and chemistry. Vocational education and acting, dance, Indian. So that he talks about spiritual development through this music, through dance, like that. Then he said the school environment should be helpful in physical and spiritual development of child. Children should not be discriminated on the basis of religion, caste, like that. So this is all about the views of different educationists, either in India or in Western world. Now let us come to democratic principles. Already I have told you that the concept of democracy, the political connotation of democracy is no more accepted. Nowadays we say democracy is a way of life. Democracy is an attitude of life where people will not be exploited by other people. There will be a positive attitude towards the life, like that. So therefore, already we have discussed all this that I will not talk about. Now here, there are two types of democracy. One is directly the people, when people are directly talking about their problems, talking about the situation, that is direct democracy. For example, Garner, a pure or direct democracy is one in which the will of the state is formulated or expressed directly or immediately through the people. Now, state cannot say, but people can say. What is indirect? according to Mill, indirect or a representative, MP, something like that, MLA, MP, indirect or a representative democracy is one in which the whole people or some numerous portion of them exercise the governing power through deputies periodically elected. Now that means the representatives are elected by the people. They are numbered. For example, in India, we have some crores of people, but our representative is, for example, 142 or 43 crores of people, but we are sending 500 or 600 MPs. So that is small one. So now people have elected them. They are the representative. So they represent on behalf of the people. That is indirect. Now, what is the relationship between democracy and education? For example, we have to provide education. Where? In a particular society. Now, India is a democratic society. India believes in, or India has witnessed democracy as the best form of government, for example. Now, the democratic principles should govern the educational structure. Whether curriculum, whether aims of education, whether method of teaching, whether role of teacher. For example, let us take the case of role of teacher. Because India believes in democracy. When you are teaching the students, you must be guided by democratic principles. That means, as a teacher, I must provide to some extent autonomy to the learners. That autonomy to the learners will be given, which will maximize the education of the students. Not that I have given the autonomy to you, independent to you, so that you can put your hand on my head, or you can use your hand to slap others. That kind of freedom will not be given. That freedom which can facilitate the progress. So therefore, the principles of democracy like liberty, equality, fraternity. For example, we talk equality, something like that, dignity, something like that. Many times you must be aware of this. The teachers are engaging the students for their personal work. Leg pulling, that is bad practice. So that should not be. Therefore, the dignity of the teacher is down. People are not respecting us because of this. Sometimes the students are exploited in some ways. So that should, for our personal benefit, we should not engage the student. Therefore, equality does. For example, equality means what? You must treat the students on equal footing, irrespective of caste, color, creed. But we say, but when if the teacher belongs to a particular class, particular caste, he gives more priority to the students of that class. No, it should not be. That means that teacher is violating the principle of democracy. Dignity of individual. Many times we say, you are a student, you do not know, sit down, get out. No, let him speak. We should, because democracy believes in provision of equal opportunity. Let the child be given opportunity so that he can open up his mind. What does he want to say? Unless he is allowed to say, how can you know? For example, you are going to organize a picnic or annual function. For example, let us field trip, picnic. Some students will say that place. Some others will say other places. So now there are many places. Now what can you do? You cannot say, no, I am the headmaster, I am a teacher, I will decide what place we will go. No. Okay, with a smiling face. Okay, the students. Some have suggested this place. Now, do you know, from our school, this place is very lengthy, far distance. So we are going for a picnic to enjoy. If you go on traveling 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers, you will be tired. You cannot enjoy. Now you convince. So better. Why should you unnecessarily spend for travel? That money could be saved for some other purposes. So therefore, that is the democratic approach. Similarly, many times, this is my experience. For example, you are staging a drama for your school function or something like that. You have to select some actors, actresses. Now, regarding heroine, for example, the two girls say, no, I will be heroine, she will be selling, I will be heroine. There will be quarrel. Now you will decide, you will make use of a democratic approach like that, so that you can decide. So therefore, in the school, you can use these principles. Now the principles are there. I will not talk about those principles. Liberty or freedom, equality, fraternity, justice. Justice, that means just behavior, justice. So democratic principle applied in education. Already I have told you how to apply. For example, a project has been undertaken by the students. There are it is a group affair. There are 10 members in the group. All these members of the group are not equally intelligent. Some are shy, some are dull, some are dominating, some are obedient, some are faithful. As a teacher, you know who is what and what is what. And what can you do? Now you should select a leader. That student will be selected a leader who can lead, who can communicate, who can influence. Who is a leader? Who can influence others' behavior? Who can lead the situation? For example, he can speak well, he can convince, he can present like that. Now you can give the instruction, minded leader. You should give the task to each member of this group, so that no one can feel I have been neglected or I am neglected. Those who are very shy, dull, they can, no, I cannot collect this data, I cannot collect this information. Now the leader will say, with your advice or with your help, that no, you try and try. There is a proverb, try and try, boys, after you will succeed. And also there is no word, no, that is found in full dictionary. I think that you are very intelligent. You can go. Let us you do. I am with you. I will help you. Let us see what is your problem. So like that, you are encouraging. You are not demoralizing. You are encouraging. You are strengthening. You are strengthening his weak point for the betterment. It is her weak point. Now you strengthen that weak point will go. And what was the weak point? He was not interested to collect information. Now you are hammering. No, you can do. You are encouraging like that. So therefore, it is you how to make use of any of the principles in the context, appropriate context. All principles cannot be used everywhere. For example, you take the case of RT Act, any, for example, you are the leader as a teacher, academic leader, or the administrative leader. Headmaster is the administrative leader. As a teacher, you are the academic leader. Now, you can ask the headmaster, sir, you should give me academic autonomy so that I can do something good work, so that our school will be famous. Now the headmaster may say, what is your academic work? What is new work? Now you can say, this is the new work that we can experiment, something like that. Now you can encourage the student to participate. Equal opportunity will be given. All should be respected. So when they are working together, cooperation, fellow feeling, brotherhood will be developed. A point of tolerance will be encouraged, like that. Sometimes the students will be harassed. So, oh, I have taken 5 days. No idea comes. No, you try. Tolerate. It will come, like that. So therefore, we must educate the child how to act in a democratic way. For example, education for democracy, it says there should be economic betterment. The second precondition is the formation of education electorate. For example, in the school, we have somebody will be minister, somebody will mock parliament. We are doing something like that. Mina Bazaar, something like that. We are doing, so that we are developing their ability to lead the situation. Now, there is no way out not to follow democracy. That means we have to follow democracy in the process of education. That is what we call democratization of education. That means the entire system of education, maybe its aims, curriculum, methodology, class management, school organization, supervision, has to be democratized in order to make democracy as well as education a success. So therefore, democratization of education has to be consider from two viewpoints. One is quantitative, another is qualitative. From the quantitative point of view, for example, quantity means number of classes will be increased, number of teachers will be appointed. Now, for example, literacy rate will be increased from 70 to 80%. Similarly, number of schools will be increased, facilities in the school will be increased. Then like that. This is what is your quantitative. So we must have more funds made available to meet this quantitative situation to democratize education. For example, we want quality education, quality education, quality education. But there are schools very surprised. Now we say smart class, smart class. Class is made smart, but teachers are not there. Manpower is not there. Then what is the meaning of the smart class? Sometimes I read this voice in the government when I was in principal in job. So I said, this is my personal view. I am not in favor of spending money for the training of the teachers. Then the secretary said, why? I said, if the teachers are ill-fed, if the teachers are not given full salary, say Shikha Sahayaka, say contractor teacher, what does it mean? Then what is the meaning of spending money unnecessarily on your training? My suggestion is, whatever amount you have earmarked for the training of teachers, why not that money will be spent for the salary of the teachers, so that these teachers will be encouraged to teach. This training has the impact. But first you give the full salary. So it is like that. Then we can think of quality. So therefore, qualitative dimension of democratic education, that is your Barrett has given national commitment to develop education to the larger possible segment. Not only opening many schools, does it mean that quantitatively it is okay? For example, number of teachers required. For example, for 35 teachers, one, or for 30 teachers, so for 30 students, one teacher. If you that is okay. On that basis, you have appointed. For example, in that school there are 400 teachers. Now, 14 or 15 teachers are appointed. All are having some arts background. So you must see, okay, this is the ratio, people-teacher ratio. But science and arts, those who have science background, they should be appointed. Those who have arts background, they should be appointed. Also male, female, not all males and not all females. That is to be taken care of. That is democratization of education. So that otherwise the quality of education will be hampered. Full mobilization of manpower, as I have told you. Then a realistic inventory and commitment to resources. Now, for example, I have seen in many schools, dictionary is there. Some books are there. They are untouched. So they are untouched. They are in the library for years together. So the teacher should make reference. So therefore, it should be there. Similarly, there are classrooms. It is under lock. It is not used. Now, as a headmaster, as a teacher, if it is not used, so it will collapse. So it will ruin. Therefore, we must see to that. Therefore, education as a right and education for all. That is what democratization of education. Because every child has a right to get education. Just like a cup of tea. Those who are addicted to tea, the moment you leave the bed, you want a cup of tea. Similarly, the moment the child is born, he is to be educated. It is his birthright. So therefore, we have take something like that. You know, I will not go further. Another concept is education for sustainable development. Let us live, let others live. So therefore, the resources are to be adjusted, keeping in mind the present, keeping in mind the future. For example, if all the coal, if all the iron is adjusted today, so what is about tomorrow? The next generation, when they will come, they will suffer. So therefore, let sustainable development implies development without hampering the geographical ecology and threat to global warming. So huge. So therefore, whenever you are going to industrialize, it should not be at the cost of deforestation. You cannot cut the forest. So therefore, your industry should be set up, established, not nearby the mountain, not nearby the natural scenario, or not by the forest. So therefore, if you are doing, therefore you have to take the permission from the forest. Like that, you should not do like that. Education for enlightened citizenship. So therefore, it is told that an educated citizenry is a greater defense to democracy. Why? Democracy can run. The success of democracy depends upon how people are educated. What will happen when the people are educated? When the people are educated, they can know their roles, responsibilities as a citizen. So therefore, citizenship training will be given. And when the citizen, when an individual is given training in citizenship, then he can better understand his duty, responsibility, roles, like that. He is aware of the situation. Therefore, citizenship training is more important. Education for knowledge society. Now we are in the global world. We are in the digital world. Now we have to make the whole society and knowledge society. Sometimes it is complained. Now the whole society is divided into two. One is digital, and another non-digital. That means there are places where there is no internet, there is no they do not have this access. Then if it is there, then how can globalization be possible? So therefore, according to Peter Drucker, the term knowledge society was first used by him as a fancy neologism. What is neologism? Newly invented. He has created, newly invented this term. That the concept of knowledge society includes much broader social, ethical, and political dimensions. Every society has its own knowledge assets. It is therefore necessary to work towards connecting the forms of knowledge that society already possesses. That is more important. For example, in our Indian society, we have engineers, we have teachers, we have doctors, we have cultivators. Now, we should forget our ego. Oh, I am a scientist. Why should I go to cultivator, farmer? Oh, I am a space aeronaut. Why should I go there? I am a teacher. Why should I go there to the village? No. We should intermingle. We should work together. Because whatever knowledge you have, I do not have. So your knowledge, my knowledge, everyone's knowledge means everyone, scientists, one group. The knowledge of different groups, that should be conglomerated. Such congressional view can facilitate, can help in the social progress. And when we are talking about the social progress, we cannot lose our sight about your value inculcation. We must give value, because values regulate our conduct, values regulate our behavior. So therefore, as I have told you, Einstein, as a scientist, he said, I have excelled my career. I have reached the point of excellence because of the value. He said, I do not want a man of success. I want a man of values. That value, because of the lack of value, now there is quarrel among the countries. Therefore, every moment the country says, I'll throw a missile. So that is wrong. That is minus value. So therefore, unless we have a value-based education, we will not live in peace. So peaceful coexistence is not possible. And therefore, the aim of peace education is to understand the nature and origin of violence and its effect. Once one is violent, maybe individual, maybe country, you know what will happen. To encourage the search for alternative possible non-violent skill. There are different non-violent skills. Now, for example, at the international level, United Nations organized, there are many agencies. They are sitting together. They are talking about what is the problem for which there is violence among these two countries. So what could be done? Something like that. Therefore, peace is essential. Then, now we are talking about education, philosophical basis, their aims, nature, scope. And the question is, how can education be given? So through what? So therefore, there are certain institutions. There are certain institutions, maybe family, maybe school, maybe mass media, maybe newspaper, maybe print media. So therefore, the institutions through which The society transmits its culture is known as agencies of education. Now, we can have formal agencies and informal agencies. School, libraries, picture galleries, games, cinema, educational programs on radio and TV. All these are coming under your formal agencies. Under your informal agencies, family, community, religion, marketplace, fairs, exhibition, etc., etc. Now, these are the different agencies. Similarly, you can understand the role of family. Family as an agency of education. It is informal agency. Now, the basic education the child gets, the first lesson the child gets, acquires, is the family. So therefore, it educates the child about the attitude, morality. It teaches the child about the culture, tradition, etc. It helps in developing physical, mental, emotional development. It influences the socialization and actualization. How to achieve what you want to achieve. Your parents advise you like that. Now, in nutshell, you can say physical development, social development, emotional development, mental development, and moral religious development takes place through your family. Similarly, school is a formal agency. Now, what does the school do? It transmits the traditional culture. It teaches the basic skills and vocational education. It develops the character of the child. There are some emerging functions as it comes with the changing of the society. Life skill education, also increase functional literacy. That means minimum how the individual can function. That literacy, diffusion of new knowledge. When the new knowledge comes, it should be propagated by the school. Then family education, how to remain as a good member of the family, learning to live together, how to become oneness. This is how the school can do. Now, school and school, they should not be treated as two different entities. Rather, they should relate to each other. They should cooperate each other. The parents should come and understand what is about the children, what is about the function of school. Now, the school should know the family background of the child, the family status of the child. So therefore, the school should develop a profile of each child so that the child can be given that type of education. Similarly, community as an agency of education, now we have the community members that they come and facilitate the process of education. Therefore, school and community must be related to each other. For example, the school influences the school influences the community influences the society. For example, the school is organized. How can the school influence the society or community? For example, the school is organizing annual function. Now you invite the parents, the community members. Similarly, if something is happening in the community, for example, marriage ceremony, or there is just a prohari, or there is any function, or there is football match, cricket match, now the teachers will be invited so that there will be perfect understanding. There will be cooperation between community and school. Also, beside that, we have different media, mass media, something like that. We can also learn from media, newspaper, something, what is happening around us from that. Therefore, when the different agencies are working together, maybe formal, maybe informal, maybe not. Now it is non-formal, non-formal is not talked about, but both informal, non-formal, formal, when they are working together jointly, then it is better. So it is advisable that the relations between family, school, community, media, all must be conglomerated. Then when they are blended, then the monopoly of all the agencies will be reduced and their cooperation can facilitate the education of the children. So that is the synthesis is a must. So this is how we can provide education by combining the services of the family, school, and your community media. This is all about this block 3. That is a philosophical perspective education. Somebody has read it. Is there any problem? Any question, query? Dharna.
Sir, I have a question.
Please. Please tell Dharna. Question.
formal non-formal education in school.
Yes, that
School is
is
non-formal.
it is not there, but already when discussed. For example, your national open school or your IGNOU, they are going and surveying the different situations. Similarly, for example, those who are drop out, they are coming to the portal of open schooling. You must have heard any a student who has not passed matriculation, he can directly, let's listen to me, he can directly take admission into +3, provided if he or she has passed the BPP, bachelor degree of preparatory program. So therefore non-formal education is flexible, so therefore we can take the service of that, but to the maximum formal informal, that is therefore they have talked about. Also print is there. Please. Suresh Chandra, either in Pragya Sahu. Please tell me, Pragya Ranjan. What is the problem? Pragya Ranjan? Mansi Malik, raise the hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please.
सर जो प्रीवियस ब्लॉक रे जो पढ़ी थिले कि जो 3 formula of language, what is 3 formula of language? I can't understand this.
कोटा की फॉर्मूला?
3 formula of language गोटे थिला तो सेटा
3 language formula. When there was a conflict, there was a quarrel between what would be the language at the school level, college level, medium instruction. It was your Kothari Commission which was appointed to resolve the issue. Therefore, Kothari Commission suggested 3 languages. So, first is mother tongue should be the medium of instruction. So, therefore, primary children should be taught through mother tongue. Similarly, another second language is your foreign language, that is your English. English should be second language. So, the high school students, they should learn at least mother tongue, English, another language is English or Sanskrit. Sorry, Hindi or Sanskrit. In non-Hindi speaking area, Hindi will be the third language, classical language. In Hindi speaking area, other than Hindi will be the third language, that is Sanskrit or English they can take. So therefore, mother tongue is one language. Second language is foreign language, that is that is your English. Then another is classical language. That means the child should have the 3 languages. So now the formula is given. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir. Hello.
Go, Dharna.
Sir, you have asked a question. The first law says that God is omnipresent, but what is the necessity to go temple? Sir, could you explain, please?
Now, have you thought about it? Have you thought about it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is your?
Sir, I think माने आमे जतरे जाउते टेंपल की आमे देखो टेंपल गला मात्र हमको किछि गोटे आवश्यकता पड़ेनी जेंति हम पढ़िया पई हमको कि इंस्पिरेशन दरकार मनुष्य कोन से सेमि को आपे आपे जेंति भक्ति भाव त हमरो पळे आसे किछि गोटे पवित्रता आसे आई थिंक सो
अच्छा मु कह दोची तो गुडा मैं को कहा ढूंढ रे बंधु मैं तो तेरे पास में भगवान कहउछन ईश्वर कहउछन मते कोउट खोजु तू मु पा तो भीतर अछि तो पाखर अछि everywhere. Why do you go to temple? I am with you. So this is how do you consider that is bhakti. If you feel that God is with me, my work is worship, my work is God, why should I? No, God says come to me. For example, I am a poor man.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I have no money. How can I go to Puri and see Lord Jagannath? I can internally, I can have a feeling realization that my God is here. That is self-realization. How do you realize? If you realize, no, I will go to Puri, I will see. You go. That is your Gobar Ganga company.
स्पिरिचुअलिस्ट से कहले कि ऑक्सीजन से एवरीवेयर अछि ता माने जे हमें धर पवन हम सबुटी पाउचंती जतले हमको गरम लागुछ हम पर्टिकुलर फैन टे चलाउचंती कि एसी टे लगुचंती कि कूलर टे लगुचंती ठीक सेमिति ଆମର ଭଗବାନ ତ ସବୁ ଜାଗାରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି କିନ୍ତୁ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଆବଶ୍ୟକତାଟା ଆମେ ମନ୍ଦିରକୁ ଗଲେ ହିଁ ପାଇବା ଠିକ
ଠିକ ଅଛି
ସେଇଭଳିଆ।
ତମେ ଯଦି କହିଲ ଯୋଉ ପବନ କଥା କହିଲ ଅକ୍ସିଜେନ ସବୁଠି ଅଛି। ଆଚ୍ଛା ଯଦି ତମେ କାର କି ସ୍କୁଟର ଚକା ଫାଟିଗଲା ଅକ୍ସିଜେନ ଦେଇଦବ ତ? ତେଣୁ ଆମେ
ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମାନେ
ନାଇଁ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଫର୍ମାଟ ରଖିଛନ୍ତି, ଗୋଟେ ପମ୍ପ ରଖା ହେଇଛି, ଗୋଟେ କୋଉଠି ରଖା ହେଇଛି ତାକୁ ଦିଆଯିବ। ସେମିତି ଆମକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କର ଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଚର କରୁଛନ୍ତି, କାହିଁକିନା ଆମ ମନ ତ ବିଚଳିତ, ଆମେ
ସାର୍
ତେଣୁ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଫର୍ମ
ସାର୍
ଦଉଛନ୍ତି। ହଁ ତେଣୁ
ସାର୍
ତମର
ସାର୍ ଆଇ ୱାଣ୍ଟ
ମନ
ଟୁ
ଯେମିତି, ଯାହାର ମନ ଯେମିତି ସେଇମିତି ହବ ଆଉ କଣ। ତେଣୁ ଭଗବାନ
ନାଇଁ
ସବୁଠି
ସାର୍
ଅଛନ୍ତି। ହଁ
ସାର୍
କହ
ଟିକେ ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ ସାର୍ ଆଇ ୱାଣ୍ଟ ଟୁ ନୋ ୟୋର ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଅଫ ଭ୍ୟୁ ପ୍ଲିଜ ସାର୍।
କହିଲି ପରା। ତେଣୁ ଯୋଉ କହିଲି ନା ଇଫ୍ ଗଡ୍ ଇଜ ଓମନି ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ହ୍ୱାଇ ସୁଡ୍ ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ ଦ ନେସେସିଟି ଅଫ ଗୋଇଂ ଟୁ ଟେମ୍ପଲ। ସେ କହିଲି
ଗୋଇଂ ଟୁ
ମନ ଏକ
ୟେସ୍
ମନ୍ଦିର। ତମର ମୋର ମନଟା
ୟେସ୍
ମୋର ତମେ କେମିତି ଭାବୁଛ? ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି ମୋର ଏକ ମନ୍ଦିର, ମୋ ମନଟା ଗୋଟେ ମନ୍ଦିର, ମନ୍ଦିର ଭିତରେ ଭଗବାନ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଭଗବାନ ଅଛନ୍ତି। ତେଣୁ ମୁଁ ଆଉ କୋଉ ମନ୍ଦିର ଯିବିନି, ମୋର ଏଇଠି ମୋ କାମ କରିବି, ମୋ ପାଠ ପଢିବି, ମୋ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଶ୍ରଦ୍ଧା କରିବି। କୋଉଠି ଭଗବାନ କହିଛନ୍ତି ଛୁଟି ନେଇକି ପାଠ ପଢ ନ ପଢି ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ କୋର୍ସ ନ କରିକି ମୁଁ ଯିବି ପୁରୀ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ଦେଖିବାକୁ? ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ କହିଛନ୍ତି?
So one question, sir.
ଧରିନି ଧରା କି ଚନ୍ଦନ ଜଗନ୍ତୁ, ତମର ପିଲାକୁ ଛାତି ମତେ 2 ଦିନ ବୁଝେଇ ଦେବେ ଆଉ କଣ କରିବା? ନା ନା ମୁଁ ଯାଉଛି ରଥଯାତ୍ରା ପୁରୀ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ଦେଖିବି। ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ଦେଖିବା ବଡ ନା ପିଲାଟା ପାଠ ପଢିଲେ ସେ ଭଲ ମାର୍କ ରଖି ଭଲ ମଣିଷ ବଡ? That is your understanding.
yes
Understanding
sir
of
yes sir
life. How do you
Sir,
think
one
about
doubt,
God?
sir.
Please.
Sir, two types of study, formal and informal. Is it
Informal.
same? Formal, informal.
Formal,
Right, sir?
informal. Uh,
The two type of process.
there is non-formal also.
There is non-formal also. So
Okay.
every three types, there is three types. So all is learning procedure. But which is the preferred in our social?
Which is preferred in?
In our social, like any job, anything, any other place, company
For
place or government place.
for the job, formal. If you, that is the context, we should know what is the context of getting education. For example, my context is I must be an IAS officer, because I must be a teacher, I must be like that. So formal.
Formal.
Because unless it is planned, for example, you want to be a teacher, so planned curriculum, planned strategy, planned examination should be there, certification will be there. That is formal.
Huh.
If I want to be, for example, ମୁଁ ପାନ ଦୋକାନଟେ ହେବି, ମୋର କି ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ କୋଉ ସ୍କୁଲ କୋଉଠି ପାନ ଦୋକାନ ଶିଖା ହଉନି। ଏଇଟା ମୁଁ ଶିଖିକି ବାପା କହିଦବ, ମା କହିଦବ, ଏମିତି ଚାବି ଖୋଲିବୁ, ପାନ ଏମିତି ଦବୁ, ସଇଲା ଚାଲିଲା।
मेरा सर
सर
क्वेश्चन जो है अलग से है। मैं बोल रहा हूँ फॉर्मल, नॉन फॉर्मल, इनफॉर्मल। फॉर्मल को सोशल में प्रेफर दे रहा है, तो नॉन फॉर्मल और इनफॉर्मल का क्या जरूरत है? जैसे मैं बीएड कर रहा हूँ या मैं बेसिक कर रहा हूँ, मुझे पता है, मैं 2 साल ऑलरेडी स्टूडेंट को पढ़ा चुका हूँ, मेरे पास एक्सपीरियंस है। बट हम लोग कर रहे हैं सर्टिफिकेट के लिए और तो कुछ नहीं।
Now certificate will be given by formal education, but
Formal education.
every education has certain morality values. School cannot provide such kind of things. So therefore foundation is home. From home, for example, I copy down from the friend and get the answer. Now the parents will, the teacher will say okay. Now the parents will say no, it is wrong. The basic value that will be given by home. Then your foundation is home for informal. Then your roof is your formal. Your formal is, you may be engineer, you may be doctor. If your family has not given the right kind of value, you will be a dockite. You will be, for example, there are some engineers, they are constructing building. After some days, after 1 month, 2 months, it is falling down. That means value system is lacking. Value system does not, it is not given formally. Mostly it is given by the mother will tell you, the father will tell you, because maximum time you are staying in the home family. So therefore many occasions, Ganesh Puja, Saraswati Puja, or home something, it got Satyanaরায়ণ Puja, Panimala, we are organizing in home. That is the situation from where you can learn how to value, how to respect. Mostly academic curricular activities are taken care of by formal education.
Understood, sir.
Isn't it?
For formal education only give a certificate.
That is meant to provide a certificate.
Certificate.
For example, we have 3 domain: cognitive, affective, psychomotor. Mostly our school and colleges, they are directly
Cognitive.
designed to
Cognitive.
help you for the cognitive development. ଜ୍ଞାନ ଭାବ ଦିଗଟାକୁ ପରିବାର ମୋ ପିଲାଟା କାହିଁକି ଭାବୁଛି ବେଳେବେଳେ ତାରି ମୋ ସ୍କୁଲ ଆଇଲା କାହିଁ କାନ୍ଦୁଛି କାହିଁ ଖାଇ ନାହିଁ କଣ ହେଲା ନା what is the value like that. Not no teacher, 1% 2% teacher, but it
Sir?
is the responsibility of the
Sir,
home.
sir, in your constitution, you have told that equality is maintained for all. But why this stratification? Why
it is
this
suggested.
stratification? Why
Equality is maintained.
stratification in kind of caste?
Why caste system is provide government? If equality is
let me tell you. For example, ଜନ୍ମରୁ ଯାହା ହେଇଛି ଆମେ ତାକୁ କିଛି ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ କରିପାରିବାନି କିନ୍ତୁ ଯାହା ହବାକୁ ଯାଉଛି we can do that. For example, ଆମର statistics says that ଆମର schedule caste schedule type ଏଇ ଯୋଉ population ତାଙ୍କର educational ସେମାନେ backward. ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ just equality ମାନେ କଣ? equality ମାନେ ନୁହେଁ ସମାନ ବାଣ୍ଟିବା. equality ମାନେ ହଉଛି ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଲେଭେଲ ଉପର ଲୋକ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସେଇ ଲେଭେଲକୁ ଆଣିବା. To give the opportunity to raise their status. ଧରିନିଅ
ସମତା ରକ୍ଷା କରିବା।
ଧରିନିଅ ଯେ ପଚାରିଲେ ମୁଁ ତାକୁ କହୁଛି ତମେ ସବୁ 10 ଜଣ 20 ଜଣ ମେସ୍ ଅଛ ତମେ କମ ଖାଉଛ ସିଏ ବେଶୀ ଖାଉଛି ସିଏ ଆଉ ଟିକେ ବେଶୀ ଖାଉଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ମିଲ୍ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହଉ ମିଲ୍ ଦାମ ପଡୁଛି ତମେ କହୁଛ କି ନା ନା ମୁଁ ତ କମ ଖାଉଛି ମୁଁ ଟଙ୍କାଟେ କମ ଦେବି କହୁଛ କି ତମେ କଣ ସମାନ
but a medical student in ST
ଆମର ପଡିଲା ମାସକରେ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ 10,000 ଟଙ୍କା ଆମେ 10 ଜଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି 1000 ଦବା ସେମିତି ଆମକୁ ମାନେ ଜଷ୍ଟିସ ଦବା ପଡିବ ଇକ୍ୱିଟି ଏଠି ଇକ୍ୱାଲିଟି ମାନେ ଇକ୍ୱିଟି ମାନେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଫେୟାରନେସ ଜଷ୍ଟିସ ଦବା ଯେ ଏଇ ଲୋକକୁ ଧରିନିଅ ତମର 5ଟା ପିଲା ଜଣେ ଭଲ ପଢୁଛି ଆଉ ଜଣେ ବିଲକୁଲ ଗଧ ତମେ କହିନା ନା ଗଧ ପଢେଇବି ନା ତାକୁ ଟ୍ୟୁସନ ବଡ ପୁଅ କହିବନି ବାପା ମା ତାକୁ କାଇଁ ଟ୍ୟୁସନ ଦଉଛ ମତେ କାଇଁ ଦଉନ ନା ରେ ବାପା ତୋର ଟ୍ୟୁସନ ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ ତାର ବହୁତ ଲେଭେଲ କମ ଅଛି ସେ ତ ଲେଭେଲକୁ ଆସିପାରିବନି ତ କିନ୍ତୁ ଉପରୁ ଟିକେ ଉଠିବାକୁ ଗଲେ ତାକୁ ଟିକେ ଟ୍ୟୁସନ 3-4ଟା ଦେବାକୁ ପଡେ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଟ୍ୟୁସନ ଇନସେଣ୍ଟିଭ ଦିଆଗଲା ବା ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଟ୍ରିଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଦିଆଗଲା କାହିଁକି ସେଠି ଉପରୁ ଉଠୁ ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଇଜ ଇକ୍ୱାଲିଟି ଇକ୍ୱାଲିଟି ମାନେ ନୁହଁ ବଡ ପୁଅ ଟ୍ୟୁସନ ଯାଏନି ସାନ ପୁଅ ଯିବନି ସାନ ପୁଅ ବଡ ପୁଅ ନୁହଁ ତେଣୁ ତାକୁ ଦେବାକୁ ପଡିବ ତାକୁ ଉଠିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଇଜ ଇକ୍ୱାଲିଟି ସ୍ପେଶାଲ ଅପରଚୁନିଟି
सर ये जो तो इक्विटी हब ना हमर समता
ये इक्वालिटी माने दैट इज इक्विटी माने हमको फेयरनेस इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी माने कोन जहार जो दक्षता अछि सेही दक्षता अनुसार अपॉर्चुनिटी दबा
हां सेटा सर इक्विटी दा हमर इक्वालिटी हैला
ना ना मु
सर हमर जो ट्रेनिंग आगे आगे
धरिनियो प्रथम पिलाटी तम जने बापांकर 5टा पिला प्रथम पिलाटी तार विज्ञान फल अछि तार विज्ञान पढला कि मेडिकल पढला जा पढला द्वितीय पिलाटी कहबनी मु पढिबी बापा कहत तू पारि पढ नाही मते होउनी गणित होउनी विज्ञान होउनी ना तू माने एको होउची ना तू से आर्ट्स जा दैट इज इक्वालिटी opportunity is equally given but that is based upon your ability
yes sir
मु जदि एबुल नु बापा ना ना से मेडिकल बापा कहबनी से मेडिकल पढला मु भी तते टंका दे तू मेडिकल पढना बापा मोर से हबनी मु कॉमर्स जीबी कि मु अमुके जीबी जा तोर एबिलिटी जा कहूची
yes sir
based on ability okay
sir thank you
should you wind up the session
Yes, sir.
thank you
yes sir
thank you buddy
Thank you.
यार हाथ के कहां गेला यार हाथ के ऐसे कुछ बना है ये वर्षा आइला ये
खाऊन का बोलो
मैं पूरा कोन आगे धीरे भूली
बोले
पूरा कोन अकॉर्डिंग की देई
ଏବେ କାହା କାଲି ସବୁବେଳେ ବି ଡାକି ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି
हां
ଡେଲି ବି ଅଫିସ ଡାକୁଛନ୍ତି
हां हां हेला यार भाई
ନାଇଁ ପ୍ରାୟ ଲୋକ ଡାକୁଛନ୍ତି ଏଡିସି ଡାକୁଛନ୍ତି ଯୁଆଡେ ଯା
ना ना ट्यूशन डाको तो 6 मास छुट्टी नहीं छु दिल्ली पूरा
ଗୁଡି କୁ ଯାହା ବି ଡାକୁଛନ୍ତି ଡେଲି ଯିବାକୁ କହୁଛନ୍ତି
गुडी जाओ दुनिया कोन कोन छ
କିଛି ନାହିଁ ଯେ
आगे जॉइन कर दो हे
प्रेगनेंट हବ କଣ ହବ
काई हेला नहीं कुटला खाला बसी गई कोन हबो लागु मर्जी वाला खाइबिन ना बोलो तला काई कुड कोन अपन काई हेला हेला हवा को
ନାଇଁ ସବୁଦିନ ଆସିବାକୁ କହୁଛନ୍ତି
हां हो जा जीवो कोन हेला जो पैसा खर्च नहीं बर्तन ताकू गैप पीरियड तक हे गोटे जॉइन कर तापर अप्लाई कर अन्य कोड पड़ेबो बा छुट्टी आनिबो पूजा फेर आसीबो तो कोन करे काई दो चाकरी काई ये ऑफर कर दन डिफिकल्ट करना गला बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो तभी तो एबे तो काटतो ना तभी को
फेर देना तो देखला प्लेट
ये साथ में तो घुसा दिया अपने साथ
कितने पछुल देखना
कोई बात नहीं वैसे से पूरे अगली बार शायद
ये